Today, I want to tell you a story. This isn't my own personal experience, but the story of a very close friend, someone who went from the pinnacle of a career many people dream of, then lost it all, and then rose from the ash. He once told me, almost everything we've ever been taught about money is a lie. They tell you to save your money, but they don't tell you that with every passing second, the money you work so hard for is evaporating due to inflation. They tell you to work hard, but they don't tell you that you're selling your most precious asset, your time, for a ridiculously cheap price, just to build someone else's dream. My friend used to live that exact lie. There was a time when he stood at the peak of his career. His bank account had numbers that made his friends marvel. His parents were incredibly proud. He had everything that society defines as success. But there was a truth that no one could see. Every night, he would lie awake, staring at the ceiling, feeling a terrifying emptiness. He realized he was just a high-class hamster, running in a gilded cage. He had money, but no freedom. A good job, but not a life. And then, fate delivered a crushing blow. In just 6 months, everything he had built collapsed like a sandcastle. The market shifted, bad investments, partners who turned their backs on him. He lost everything. From a millionaire, he went back to zero, even worse, to a massive negative number. He said it was the worst moment of his life, but also the greatest. Because it was only when he hit rock bottom that he finally realized the rules he had always followed were all wrong. The system had deceived us. And from those ashes, he rewrote the entire rulebook himself. He didn't just earn back what he lost, he built a fortune many times more stable. More importantly, he found true freedom. Today, through his story, I want to share with you the map that my friend drew with his own blood and tears. These are 5 brutal, yet liberating truths that will completely change the way you think about getting rich. Forget everything school taught you. The real class starts right now. Truth number 1. Stop working for money. Make money. Work for you. Sound familiar? Get a high-paying job. That's the sweetest trap. Imagine 2 career paths in front of you. Path A. You take a stable office job with a starting salary of $60,000 a year. Your friends are impressed, and your life is quite comfortable. But 5 years later, with meager raises, your income might only reach about $78,000 a year. You're stuck in a safe, but boring grind. Your potential is capped by the company's salary ceiling. Path B. You take a challenging job at a startup or a sales position, with a base salary of only $40,000 a year. This job teaches you real-world skills: how to sell, how to market, how to run a business. For the first 2 years, you struggle with living costs, live very frugally, and might have to take on a side hustle. Your friends look at you with pity. But 5 years later, with those invaluable skills and experience, you can build your own business, generating $20,000 or even $30,000 a month. That's $240,000 to $360,000 a year. At this point, the only limit to your income is your own ability and hard work. Our generation is obsessed with salary, but we forget 2 things that are infinitely more important: skills and equity. My friend said that when he went bankrupt, the money vanished, but his skills didn't. Negotiation skills, sales skills, the ability to read the market. That is the real asset. It's like owning an axe. An average person focuses on finding a tree that's already there to chop down. But a wise person, they spend time sharpening their axe until it's razor sharp. With a sharp axe, no matter what forest you're thrown into, you can chop down the biggest trees yourself. Become obsessed with sharpening your axe. Learn high-income skills: video editing, copywriting, high-ticket closing, software development. These are the skills that allow you to escape the time for money trap. And the second thing is equity. That means owning a piece of a business. You can start your own, or work for a company and demand equity if you truly create breakthrough value. Never be just a salaried employee. Become a co-owner. Because when you work for a salary, you only get a tiny slice. But when you own equity, you own a piece of the entire money printing machine. Truth number 2. Most of the rich people you see on social media are drowning in debt. You're scrolling through Instagram. You see them, driving supercars in Dubai, eating gold leaf steaks, wearing flashy watches. And you feel inadequate. You start craving that lifestyle. Stop right there. It's an elaborately staged play. The majority of them are making payments on cars they can't afford. They're swiping credit cards for trips they'll spend a year paying off. They are living a fake life to impress people they don't even know. Impressing people on social media is much easier than building real wealth. My friend admitted that when he first started making money, he fell into this trap too. He bought a flashy sports car. He bought designer clothes. He wanted everyone to look at him and say, "Wow, this guy is so successful." But the reality is, every luxury item he bought was a brick being pulled from his financial foundation. The car depreciated the moment he drove it off the lot. The clothes went out of style after one season. They are liabilities, not assets. The poor and the middle class buy liabilities to look rich. The truly rich, they buy assets to become richer. So what's an asset? Anything that puts money in your pocket. Stocks, rental properties, a self-sustaining business, even a YouTube channel that generates income. Instead of buying the latest phone, use that money to buy a few shares of a good company. Instead of buying a designer bag, invest in a course to upgrade your skills. In the early stages, you can't live like a king and build an empire at the same time. Sacrifice short-term desires for long-term freedom. Once you are truly wealthy, you can buy anything you want. But by then, you'll probably realize those things don't matter anymore. If what I've just shared has started to shift something in your mindset, if you feel a spark has just been lit, then take a second to support me. Please hit the like button on this video, and more importantly, hit the subscribe button for VinhPeak and turn on all notifications. Because what I'm about to share next is even more powerful. Together, we are going to break the invisible chains that have been holding you back for so long. Now, let's get back to it. Truth number 3. You will never get rich on your own. The education system has programmed us to be lone wolves. Do your own homework. Don't look at your friend's paper. That mentality will kill you in the real world. Not a single wealthy person I know does everything themselves. They understand one supreme law: leverage. They leverage other people's time, money, and talent. I would rather earn 1% of the effort of 100 people than 100% of my own effort. When you're alone, you only have 24 hours in a day. No matter how hard you work, to the point of exhaustion, you can't create more than 24 hours. But when you build a team of 10 people, you have 240 working hours every single day. That is the power of leverage. Stop being proud of saying, "I can do it all myself." That's a sign of ego, not intelligence. Smart people don't ask, "How can I do this?" They ask, "Who can do this better than me?" Find people who are better than you in every field, and empower them. You are the strategist, the conductor, not the one playing every instrument in the orchestra. Your job is to focus on the things that only you can do, the things that create the highest value. Elon Musk doesn't assemble every spaceship himself. He gathers the greatest engineering minds on the planet. Jeff Bezos doesn't pack every order himself. He built a massive logistics system. Learn to delegate. Learn to build a team. Learn to trust others. That is the only way to scale your success exponentially. Truth number 4. Your biggest fear isn't failure. It's the judgment of others. How many brilliant ideas have died inside your head just because you were afraid of what others would say? You can't do it. That sounds crazy. People will laugh at you. You're not afraid of failing. You're afraid of the embarrassment of failing in front of other people. But let me tell you something. When you're young, you have a superpower that older people would trade their entire fortunes for. That superpower is time. Time is your safety net. If you take a risk and fail at 20, you have 40 years to do it all over again. But if you're scared and only take the safe path, when you're 60, you'll look back and say, "I wish I had dared to try." That regret is far more painful than any failure. Treat failure as a test, as data. It doesn't define who you are, it just shows you that one particular way didn't work. Most of the successful people you admire have failed hundreds of times. They simply didn't give up. This world doesn't reward the smart, it rewards the brave. Dare to take calculated risks. Dare to go against the crowd. If you only do what 99% of people do, you will only get the results that 99% of people get. Go on an adventure. Experiment. Fail, and fail fast. Because every failure is one step closer to success. Don't let the fear of opinions from people who don't even pay your bills stop you from living an extraordinary life. Truth number 5. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. This is probably the most important truth of all. Your environment will determine your destiny. If you hang out with 5 pessimists, you will be the 6th. If you hang out with 5 people who only like to drink and complain, you will be the 6th. And if you hang out with 5 people who are always striving, always learning, always seeking opportunities, you will undoubtedly be the 6th. Your income, your mindset, and even your health will converge towards the average of those around you. This doesn't mean you have to completely cut off your old friends. But you must be intentional about choosing and building your social circle. Seek out mentors, advisors, people who have already achieved what you desire. Find a way to be near them. Buy them lunch. Volunteer to work for them for free. Absorb their mindset and their energy. When you're in an environment where talking about investments, about business, about big ideas is normal, your brain will automatically upgrade to think on a higher level. You'll realize that things you previously thought were impossible are actually completely achievable. Look in the mirror, not through a magnifying glass. Don't blame your circumstances, the government, or your family. Take 100% responsibility for your life. And one of the biggest responsibilities is choosing who you allow into your life. Protect your mind and your energy fiercely, because they are your most precious assets. We're almost at the end, and if you're still here, I know you are serious. You are not average. You are a warrior. Show me that by hitting the subscribe button for VinhPeak, because our journey has only just begun. Together, we will rewrite the definition of success. So, there you have it. 5 truths. 5 keys to unlock the door to financial freedom, drawn from the story of an extraordinary person. But knowing is not enough. You can watch 1,000 videos like this, read 100 books. But if you don't take action, nothing will ever change. The world is divided into 2 types of people, those who are given gifts, and those who make choices. You might have a natural talent, that's a gift. You might be born into a well-off family, that's a gift. But you can't be proud of those gifts, because you didn't create them. You can only be truly proud of your choices. You choose to work hard, while others are out having fun. You choose to invest in yourself, while others are spending recklessly. You choose to face your fears, while others are hiding in their comfort zones. You choose to persevere, when others have already quit. Wealth is not a destination. It is the result of thousands of small choices, made with discipline, day in and day out. You can choose a life that is easy and comfortable. Or you can choose a life of service and adventure. When you're 80 years old, lying in bed and looking back on your life, which one will you be more proud of? Today, the life that you write with your own hands officially begins. Don't let anyone else write your script anymore. Pick up the pen and create your own masterpiece. The game has already begun. The only question is, are you ready to play by the new rules?